for a second, but he turned it around. It turned out okay. Guys, coming to the stage next, very funny man, Mr. Tim Butterly.
Hey friends, how's it going? How are we doing tonight?
My name is Tim Butterly. I am an IT consultant in Philadelphia and a part-time stand-up comedian.
What do we think of this Casey Anthony broad? She do it? She did.
No.
Anyone think she didn't do it? No.
I wouldn't say I'm working as a comedian, but I started trying as a comedian like 5 months ago, just doing like open mic nights in Center City.
Juries don't rely on Facebook comments to make their decisions. We're not here to judge. The truth is we'll never know whether she fucking totally did it. She did that shit. How do you not get her convicted? I don't blame the jury. It was never proven against her. You know, the shadow of the doubt thing. This is America, right? But how do you not take that case and fucking slam dunk it on her and get her killed? I don't understand.
I grew up watching a ton of stand-up. I remember distinctly seeing a Dave Attell special on Comedy Central when I was in high school, and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen, and I still think it's really funny. But yeah, stand-up was always something that I was interested in. I remember when I was way too young to have seen it, my mom and my brothers rented Eddie Murphy's Raw from Blockbuster on VHS. And I think I was like 7 years old and I saw it, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever! And I didn't get any of the jokes, though. Stand-up comedy wasn't what I originally wanted to do. My original dream was to go to Camden County College, and some paperwork got mixed up. That fell through, and I fell back on pursuing this, like, entertainment thing.
Here's her defense. It was an accident. Her daughter died by accident, and she wanted to cover it up, so she made it look like a murder. And all right, here's where she fumbled the ball. Let's continue the sports thing. Here's where she fumbled. She made it look like she murdered the kid.
I feel like they all think that I'm lying about what I do all the time. Like, not my wife and kids, of course, because they're around me constantly. But I feel like when I tell my dad, like, Dad, I'm doing stand-up comedy, and someone paid me $16 to do it last week. I feel like he's like, that's nice, but in the back of his head, he's like, I feel like they still think I'm 7 years old and I'm just making up things that I saw on my way home from school. Like, Dad, there was a rainbow, and on top of the rainbow, there was a bum fighting a leprechaun, and that's how his eyes glaze over the same way when I talk about me doing stand-up comedy. Actually, I've thrown out jokes that worked before and then didn't work one time. I'm like, screw, that was the worst joke ever. Why did I think that was a good idea? There was one joke that I told around Memorial Day, and it was a good idea at the time because there was only like 4 people there, and the gist of it was I know too many people in the military now, so I no longer have like respect for the armed forces, because when I was a kid we saw all like the Marine commercials where the guy fought like a CGI dragon with like a lightning sword, and it was like join the Marines at the end. And then when I turned 18, I knew a bunch of guys who, like, they signed up and they shipped off, and they ruined, like, that movie moment for me where the soldier leaves and, like, his high school sweetheart kisses him goodbye at a bus station, because now all my friends were leaving for the military, and they're like, dude, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm like, wow, man, this is emotional. And he's like, no, well, where can I get, like, 2 oxys and a hand job right now? And I thought it was an awful thing to say. It was like your last words before you leave, you might die. And I offended some people with the joke, and I'm never going to tell it again.
I will never make a joke about killing children or hurting children. That's not funny. But the sad part is I kind of get where she was coming from, if that's what she actually did. Because I have my own toddler. My daughter's 3 years old, and at that age, all they want to do is hurt themselves or do things that'll hurt them. And your biggest fear, you walk around kind of like shivering all day, is thinking, like, when you can't see them, what if they get hurt? It'll keep you up at night. And your second biggest fear is, what if she gets hurt and someone thinks it's my fault? The worst part is like when you're walking in like the playground with her and she trips on your foot. We've got this culture where people want to like vilify someone just for being near her children. Like they want to place the blame. We are a nation of Nancy Graces now. So I get terrified that someone's going to be like, oh, push that little girl on the ground. So she starts crying. She can hit herself in the face with a book. And someone's like, what's wrong? Is she okay? I'm like, I don't know. I just got here. I didn't see anything. Let's see. There's a split second before you pick them up to like caress their head or whatever where you're like, is anybody, what am I going to tell the cops when they get here? And you're completely innocent. It's not fair. And I know it's not because I'm like a parent and like I'm super sensitive to it now, because before I even had kids, like when I was around other people's little ones, I was always like afraid I would do the wrong thing where I'd look like a molester. Or if you're at like a child's birthday party and you're like, look at my little girl, so pretty in her birthday dress. Well, I'm not even attracted to that kind of thing. It's pretty cool for a baby, I guess. I don't know.
You know, in your head, when you come up with an idea, you might think it's really smart or really funny, and then you explain it to someone and they're like, "Are you a freaking idiot? Why would you put that on anyone?" So sometimes I'll be like, "Look, I think this is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and I can't stop thinking about it. Well, what do you think?" And if they give me anything more than a blank stare, I'm like, "This is good. It's gonna work." But more often than not, it's just like, "Yeah, I don't know."
The kids came with a wife. I got a wife now too. Her birthday was Tuesday, and we're playing Marriage Chicken, where we're gonna see who comes out and says that we just don't give a shit about birthdays for grown-ups anymore. Like I know I don't care, and I'm 99% that she doesn't care, but I'm not gonna be the one that says like I don't care about your birthday. We're not like going through the motions. I still care about her and stuff. I love her. But it's getting harder and harder to put the enthusiasm into it. Like, I'll get her a gift from the kids, like, hey, here's Get Him the Greek on Blu-ray. Happy birthday, I know you love Russell Brand.
IT work is my real passion. I actually haven't done any jokes about my job whatsoever, because you see so many people who are like, so I had this job where I had to eat poop for 9 hours a day, and it was a bad job, and I can't. I don't really have a taste for that kind of stuff, so I avoid boring people with, processor architecture and what makes me so mad about it. You know what I mean?
I'm having a hard time even keeping the date in my head. And I'm an entrepreneur, so I got an idea for a business where you provide all of your family's birthday information up front, and they'll call you or text you 3 days out from it every year. So they'll be like, oh, hey, Mr. Butterly, your wife's birthday is in 3 days. She likes White Zinfandel, Cheesecake Factory, and Russell Brand. And, as of about the last time we talked, a year ago, she still really hates anal. That's useful, keeping that kind of thing handy.
Alright, so right now I'm in the process of gearing up for the Phillies Funniest competition. There's something like 150 comedians all competing. It takes place over the course of 3 months at Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia, and you get 5 minutes, and the room is packed. It's completely full because everyone's bringing all of their relatives and co-workers and classmates from Camden County College, and just the majority of them just get up there, and it's, who gave this maniac a microphone? So I don't have any aspirations of winning. My real goal is to get up there and have 5 good minutes in front of a packed house at a comedy club. And I think it's taken a lot of pressure off of me, especially as a new guy. But at the same time, I don't know enough about comedy in general, or even my own comedy, to really feel confident about picking what I'm going to use for that 5 minutes, because I have way more than 5 to use.
And as of about a year ago, she still really hates jokes about anal sex with children. I'm Tim Butterly, thank you so much.